Haunted Minds, game number 1. Another best of 5 in Group B at Meta Madness. We got the Heroes Lounge Fan Club against the Sweaty Boys. Sweaty Boys +1, I'd say, because to my knowledge, rushing main is actually a girl, so it's not quite correct. The Polish team over here went into a Polish name for all of this, and I'm not going to pronounce that. I failed, so this is not going to happen. But everybody told me that it pretty much just translates into the Sweaty Boys, so that's what we're calling them right now. I guess I'm going to add that +1 as well. Rushing main didn't play on the first day of the group stage, so yeah, she's only playing today as it seems. But we're here at Meta Madness. Again, if you're not familiar with the rules, it's actually fairly simple. We are trying to force the teams to play heroes that you normally don't see all that much in actual competitive play on the highest level. So the way that we're doing this is 10 heroes are banned for the entire group stage. These heroes cannot be picked at all in the group stage. For the playoffs, those heroes are going to change a little bit, and we're also going to have more. And every hero that gets played once cannot be played again in the same series, which of course makes map 3, 4, 5 super interesting, since the hero pool is slowly decreasing. Also noteworthy, since this caused a little bit of confusion earlier, these are not only top teams. So again, we are looking at a tournament that was open for everybody to sign up. We have 16 teams in total, hence the group stage. We have 4 groups with 4 teams each, and only the top 2 advance to the playoffs, where the players then play for 2,000 euros of prize money. But therefore, in the group stage, you are bound to have some real big gaps in experience and also in skill levels. So that plays a role here as well. So the game is still pretty fun. We saw a lot of trolling. Everybody is enjoying the format and having fun with picks that they normally don't get to play when they're trying to play in a competitive environment. And with that, we are just going for it. So we got Haunted Minds now as our starting map, and this is also a bit of an adjustment that we're making with the format here. This is not a map that is technically in the map pool, so Haunted Mines, Blackheart's Bay and Hanamura, they are not maps that the players themselves can choose, but as the starting map, as we don't have a lot of heroes banned, we want to make it a bit more interesting, so one of the maps that you normally don't see in any tournament is now being played here. So Rhaegar is started up as our first one. We got Li Ming and Nubarak. Yeah, the double gets played. I'm currently still looking at the lineup that they're playing here, and I want to see at least one hero that has a lot of push power so that he can play more of a macro level. I'm actually already quite happy about the fact that Samuro gets addressed a little bit more. We've seen that already against the blue team a few times now, but I would love to see that combo with Samuro and Abasai again. It's just so cheesy and so glorious to watch when he gets to the late game. This would ring alarm bells if we didn't have Rhaegar. If you go for Tyrael and Reyna, that's normally a backdoor strategy. Since they already chose support, I don't really think that's what they're doing here, unless they're willing to commit to a second healer, which could happen. But if not, then they still have some nice single target damage. Greymane gets banned. Kinda makes sense, because if there is a backdoor strategy, Greymane would be a great hero to help. But then again, there's a few others that you could also choose if that's your only goal. Asmodan, going into the demonic invasion, if you're just really gonna go full YOLO. But yeah, time will tell. For now, it's the Nubarak and Li Ming that the red team is relying upon. They need their own support still as well. So let's see what they can put onto the board right now. I mean, there's also a map where we have seen... oh, well, Oriel? Okay. Oriel and Artanis. Okay. The Artanis pick I didn't see coming. I mean, Artanis, again, if your opponent has a backdoor strategy and you have a suppression pulse, this is a pretty neat one because it buys you a little bit more time to head back and then deal with it. So, since we had so many backdoor strategy compositions already in this tournament, I think everybody is just super careful about that and thinks, hey, what can we do here? But they go for Probius. And for Gazlo. Yeah, the Heroes Lounge fan club is definitely out there right now. They already had a couple of whoppers in the earlier series. It was kind of fun there. But let's see what they can do with this right now. So, last pick. Kotzel still has to choose. And what's it going to be? We still need them with a little bit more damage. They got the front line sorted. But they need either range damage dealer or another melee that can pack a punch, one of the two options. It is Stukov though. Stukov, Oriel, double support, damn. Alright guys, let's go. Haunted Mines, game number 1, Heroes Lounge FC against the Sweaty Boys. Game number 1, Heroes Lounge FC against the Sweaty Boys, +1. We got Valla on the blue team playing Rega. Grain Bure is playing Tyrael. We got Paginox on Gazlo, Bokken on Probius. And Time Bullet is playing Jimmy. To the right side of the map, the Polish team with Demaso and Anubarak, Makotzel on Stukov, Vertigo is playing Liming, rushing main on Oriel, and we got Wanik on Artenis. Alright, ready to rumble. Let's go. Let's see what they're gonna get here. I mean, we got a double support on the side of the blue team, the red team. And on the left side, we got Probius and we got Gazlo. And they're immediately attacking at the bot lane, but I think that flank that's coming their way might prove to be a little bit difficult. Then again, the stun was just missed. Silence is there, and the party starts off immediately with a bang. They are making it out of the fight, though, and Gazlo is enjoying all of the freedom that he has topside, as he is starting up with the clamps. Went on level 1 into the big game Hunter. Artanis is the one that is now starting to deal with him. And down to the bottom of the map, we get Oriel with a Searing Light on level 1. Amateur opponent for Artanis. Jimmy not stacking, but he is pretty much the only real range damage dealer for them. And yes, I don't count Probius. Probius is going to set up a couple of cannons trying to get those camps and probably also pushing. And it's not like he can't pack a punch in team fights. But it's not really the single target range damage that we're getting from someone like Time Bullet now with our StarCraft boy. Up here, Warnick is risking a lot of damage done to... Oh, yeah, that's a quick kill. So they're actually getting the camp. He was really risking a lot, staying on the camp long enough for the rest of the team to rotate in, but it worked out for them, and now they were able to get the camp and also grab a kill. So that's Gazlo gone. And since the blue team was at least able to get the pumpkins at the bottom of the map, party is going to continue right over here. So, with that said and done, we are now looking at level 4 kicking in for the two teams any moment. Obviously, at 2 minutes and 30, the mines are going to get announced as well. And once that we're fighting over the golem, things are gonna be interesting. We have with Artanis a really nice tool to not only take down these skeletons, but also to deal with the golem itself. And besides that, I mean, they're really banking a lot of their damage on Li Ming alone. So that should work quite nicely for them, as long as they're getting resets. But yeah, time will tell. So White Mane is not in the game. Oriel, on the other hand, is in the game, and she goes for the whip. So right here we got the repeated offense. If you've been a bad boy, well, then Oriel is going to be there and she's going to whip you in shape a little bit. So the cannon dropped straight into the line of fire. And Li Ming's shots go nowhere, but just hit that. We got the photon barrier here on level 4 for Probius now, down to the bottom of the map. It's Artanis against Gazlo. Topside with a 4 versus 4, there the party is starting to heat up a bit as Anubarak dives in and is immediately followed up by a lurking arm from Stukov, who is now also entering the front line for a quick slap, but he shouldn't really go too hard there. So he gets caught and killed, and that's the first kill for the blue team. Pretty much trading them right now. And they're trying to get the damage in here too. Mines are open, by the way, so the mines are not only open, but we also have them with the skulls. Seems like Probius was for a second thinking about going down there, but decided against it. We're also looking at the Triumvirate now on level 4, so going for the traditional build here too. Topside, they're still pushing. Nobody's going for the objective, but I guess Stukov? Ooh, and Oriel is dead. Oriel down, Artanis and Stukov have entered the mines and are starting to take some skulls for the red team. But as they do that, the top is suffering. Probius has started to really break through with the rest of Heroes Lounge fan club to ensure that they're getting good damage against the structures. And at the end of the day, the only reason that you're getting the golem is that you want to do structural damage. So if you can do that without the objective while your opponent is busying the bot lane, is busy at the lower level of the map, that's still a bit of a win. So there's a lot that has to be done topside to prevent the fort from falling. And the blue team is just rotating from one camp to another as they're claiming more and more pumpkins. But they have fallen behind on stacks for sure. So it's 36-0 right now. Pachnox gets attacked. Warnick moving out, trying to at least, and he just doesn't stand a chance. Atanis does what he does best. He dies. And Anubarak is diving for the probe up at the top. That didn't really work out for them. And now, as they are pushing this past the fort at the bottom of the map, as you can tell already, they're not only locking in an additional kill on Stukov, but they also have a free shot at some extra damage on the fort. So they're looking very good. And as the rotation comes in, the Polish team has some real problems on their hand, because now they're abandoning the top lane to save the bottom, which allows Probius to push even harder. So the first fort is gone. We're talking level lead. Probius finally dies against Artanis at the top, but if you look at the fort, this one is nearly gone. So that's another huge win right now for the blue team. They're definitely pressuring on both lanes simultaneously. They might not be able to get a big golem here, but they can still lock some of the skulls in if they really want to. And if not, it doesn't matter too much either, because it's still the early game. So that golem, even if it's 100-0, is not going to be that strong. 4 kills to 3, but the blue team is doing a pretty decent job here. 2 forts destroyed. 6 minutes in, 2 forts are gone. So if they continue to push with Probius, escort a couple of these siege giants in, they can do a lot more work there as well. And in regards to damage, Probius is at 17,000 top damage in the game, and also top siege damage. Bokken is crushing it. I mean, he's absolutely crushing it. Probius is fully on another level. One trick pony detected. I mean, damn son. Didn't bust that out previously. There's, on the other hand, the whip, the stun, and the probe goes down. The ults are in, but they came a bit too late to make a difference here for Probius. And even Reyna is in trouble. Bloodlust chosen by Rega. Could have easily dropped it there to give them the movement speed and help them to disengage, but decided against it. But we're looking at a similar problem. Again, the same issue as before. They are trying to save one lane and the next lane gets attacked. This time it's not too much damage that they suffer at the bottom of the map, but the MO is still identical. And it nearly led to the bottom key wall suffering here. So now we have Sanctification in. We get the Robo-Goblin. Gazlo's already putting it to some good use as he's going for the minions. Half a level lead, but the fights are still continuing, and the problem for the blue team is of course that they can't just lose these battles anymore. Playing around the opponent the way that they did, I really liked it, but now they're starting to struggle a little bit more in these team battles, as we not only have Jimmy fall, but also Tyrael, so that's 2 heroes down. And if their goal is to just play the map and try and take structures down, then they really have to continue with that and step up their game a bit there. Li Ming is at the bottom of the map now, trying to get additional skulls, and she is already locked in 72 with the rest of the team, which means that the only thing remaining is the golem in the middle. So Tyrael is saying hello there, but yeah, I gotta say, it's gonna be very difficult for them to get a substantial number of skulls. I don't think they're gonna get any. And Stukov at least gets dropped by Probius and Rega up at the top, so another wall is falling. They are hoping to find some redemption with the objective, but the keep wall is absolutely open. There's nobody here. They're going for the Hyperion. Bloodlust is used, and they are just destroying this keep. They're totally willing to sacrifice a few heroes to make it happen, and why wouldn't they? So yes, this keep is gone. No chance. Keep is gone. And while this happens, you guessed it already, the bot lane is getting attacked as well. The wall is being opened up. They are losing ground everywhere. Probius is buying more and more time. And the longer Probius survives, the more time the two heroes at the bot lane had to do the damage and then also retreat without a problem. The leading experience for the Heroes Lounge fan club, they're currently looking at level 13 talents that just kicked in. Of course, the golem, it's gonna be 100 skulls against 0. But you have 2 forts destroyed and a keep. I mean, again, the game is theirs. On a macro level, the game is definitely theirs. Now, they still have to deal with the golem at the top, but this is only the first one. So it's highly unlikely that it's going to do a whole lot of damage. And even if it does, what are they going to accomplish? Take the fort down? No. Tell me it ain't so. Really? You're going to lose a fort after you just destroyed 2 and you destroyed a keep? And they're also just moving in against, Atanis and taken down as well. And guys, newsflash, they are not going to give a shit about this one. They're just going to push for the bottom keep now. Trading a keep against the fort? Hell yeah. They got Bloodlust again. And they're not even doing that. They just go for the core. And Gazlo's going to try and interrupt the hearths. 1 interrupt is already in. That's the main damage dealer. Li Ming is on the run. The core is already losing hit points. They might not have chosen Morales, but they're just backdooring without her. It's like, well, Morales is just going to get us to the core. What if we go out there without it? So now the core is down to 20%. The explosion takes another 5 off. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you win a quick game. Haunted Minds, the victory for the fan club. GG. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Game number 2! Heroes Lounge FC with a bit of a backdoor strategy here. It's not really a backdoor strategy, they just decided that they don't want to go for team fights and that they just take the opponent's structures out, and it worked quite nicely. So the 10 heroes that have been played on the previous map cannot be played again, which means that now 20 heroes are unavailable to both of the teams. Samuro still getting the immediate boot over here. Now the Sweaty Boys +1, they have to be rethinking a bit how they're approaching this. Map was, by the way, chosen by the blue team, so right from the start, I'm looking at this and I'm already thinking, they might go for something similar again. The globals are all still up. The Hogger hasn't been played yet. Falset hasn't been played yet. You could go for some backdoor Zagara, maybe even Asmodan. They already did it once, so they could do it again. Go for the demonic invasion, so there's quite a bit. But let's see what they're going to choose to do at the end of the day. Vikings are also up. I mean, this is Alterac, so it's a big map. You can do quite a lot of work here. We have some pretty nasty comps that you could just play in general. I mean, even Murky has been played on this map, I believe, already won. So, yeah. Let's see. There comes the ban on Chromie, so she's out as well. No Chromie. It's always good. And let's see what the Sweaty Boys are doing. Today with Rushing Main. She wasn't able to play yesterday, apparently. But she's here today, so she's apparently, as far as I know, like, this is the full lineup that they are normally playing with. But yesterday they played with 1 sub. We get a Lucio on the first pick. Makes perfect sense. I mean, Alterac Pass is a really big map, so if you get Lucio, you can just speed up all of the rotations fairly easily. So he's a very, very good choice there. And, well, for the blue team, I'm also interested in what they are playing. It feels like they really adapted and adopted the meta madness spirit. After game number 1, we could already see that, in the previous series showed it too. So now they go for Zul and they go for Rexar. So we also have a fair amount of wave clear available. I'm currently thinking a bit about what kind of strategy they could really employ here. Now, thinking about, let's say, an Anubarak that could be chosen. They could try and cheese the objective, but I'm more so interested if they are maybe going for a hero that helps them with the bosses. And Anubarak, I mean, again, he was played on the last map, so he's not available anymore. You can't rely on him. With Falstad on Makotzel's side, seems like the Sweaty Boys are trying to dominate the macro game themselves, using globals to accomplish that. But if you have a hero that can help you with the bosses a little bit and you're trying to sneak those in, problem is it's not going to be all that easy. Valla is banned, Reyna was already played, so who else are you going to take there? And I also don't think it's necessarily the best strategy to do that. We have seen in the past some people really employing a demonic invasion as Madan, and that was even true for some more or less normal meta tournaments. It was a bit of a cheesy time, but Dainu and some others did that, and you just simply try to go on structures time and time again. Your ult is ready and drop the demonic invasion and take structures down. Helps you with a lot of pushing. If that's going to be the right choice here against a Lucio with the quick rotation and a false stat, it's a different story, but yeah, time will tell. So Phoenix banned, and we have Leo banned. Apparently a little bit worried about the laser in conjunction with Zul and his prison. I mean, they already got some solid picks here that they can deal with. It's a fairly normal comp, by the way, for the red team so far. This is a pretty... I mean, this is straight up meta what they're playing right now for Alterac Pass. Nazebo and Tyrande. Okay. Not so sure what they're trying to do with Tyrande here. I still maintain that she is a pretty meh healer when you have better choices available, simply because she is on the squishy side. She doesn't really have a lot of survivability, and unless they're totally willing to shield her continuously, then it's going to be a problem. Could have seen them also... I mean, again, if their goal is to get Nazebo into the late game, fair enough. Then you definitely have some options here, but if that's the goal, then... yeah, Zagara and Ragnaros on the other side. I was just about to say, Ragnaros with Molten Core could be a thing. Since it's played by the red team, though, if they want to slow the game down, I'm not so sure if that's going to do them any favors. So the spirit of Meta Madness is definitely embraced here, but we have some mixed signals. There's a little bit of a macro attempt. Zagara for pushes, Ragnaros, Lava Wave here becomes an option. Granted, you can also Stormbolt, but this is a big map, so if you want to win the macro game, that might be a better choice. And it's Chen on the last pick here. Pandemonium. It's Panda time. Alterac Pass, everybody. Game number 2 in the best of 5. Let's go. Let's find out if the Sweaty Boys +1 can get a win onto the board. Game number 2. Valla is playing Nazebo. We got Grain Beret on Zul, Pachnox on Rexa, Bokken on Tyrande, and Time Bullet is playing Chen. Over on the right side, De Tomaso playing for the Sweaty Boys +1 with Muradin. We got Rushing Main. She's playing Lucio this time. Makotzel on Falstad, Vertigo on Zagara, and Wannick is playing Ragnaros. Alright, this is gonna be pretty cool. Ragnaros, Zagara, I maybe expected one of the 2 picks happening or something along those lines in the end of the draft, but I definitely didn't expect both of them. Now, it's already noteworthy that we have a Toad build. So the reason why I'm highlighting that is because if you are trying to take structures down or the core apart, Toads beat spiders by a mile. And talking about beating things, damn! They are beating them in the middle of the map. Ruthlessly. So 2 heroes immediately down. And for Nazebo, this could play a huge difference. So again, keep that a bit in mind. If we have an actual attempt to go for structures mainly as the game continues, and maybe also backdoor some stuff, then the Toad build is definitely better. And now that they got a kill on Zagara too, this is actually starting to become a little bit dangerous. I mean, already in the middle of the map, as the brawl happened, as you can see here, they were heavily successful. That stun in particular did a number on them, and then Chen jumping in feet first did some work. So already taken down. We got stacks slowly coming together for Nazebo. We're going to keep an eye on him as the game continues. Same is also true for Falstad, who's already sitting at 17. Ragnaros not going full meatball on us this time. We got the Sulphurous Hungers on level 1 for him. And they're starting to chase at the bottom of the map again. The birdie gets stunned, the birdie gets attacked, and the birdie survives, thanks to the help of Muradin and Lucio. And they're turning it on Tyrande, who just says, you know what, then I'll just go for the kill, and the bird still dies. What? Bokken, what the hell? He just refused to die and said, you know what, if you are dead, you can't kill me. And the man has a point. 4 kills to 0, and it worked quite nicely here. So this is already starting up as a pretty nice game. Not so much for the Sweaty Boys. I don't really think that they had that on their bingo card. But level 4 talents are kicking in. Top lane gets still dominated by the 2 heroes that are playing this one out, with Blood Ritual being the level 4 choice for Nazeebo. And down to the bottom of the map, Zul is pushing. So yes, they are attacking on multiple lanes again. Mid lane, Allah is helping out here. I gotta say, they are fun to watch. Again, gotta admit it here. The teams are playing for 3rd and 4th place in the group, but this is pretty fun to watch. So we now have on level 4 the Envenomed Spines and also the Hammer Gains. Thunderclap is in. Mirrodin trying to jump out a little bit unsuccessfully, but I mean, the man is doing his best with 41 stacks to his name. Nazeebo is doing fairly okay here too. And yeah, it's just getting a little bit bananas here. It's still the early game, obviously, so I don't want to overvalue the progress that they made here. But it's still an interesting start into the game, given the tools that both teams have available to them here. Down to the bot lane, we now have Zul still dominating this fairly heavily. He's obviously out pushing Falstad. Zagara is getting attacked, and Bokken, I thought he's playing a healer. He's playing an assassin. That man is mad. Like, he's just chasing them down over and over again. He doesn't care. He's just sitting there like, wait a second, you think you can kill me? Think again, buddy. That ain't happening. Mirrodin is pretty happy that he still has a cooldown ready, because that could have been problematic for him. Right, a little bit of a dodge attempt. 53 stacks by now for Nazeebo, and he continues with the Toad build, with the Toads of Hugeness. Yeah, some people said that Nazeebo has very tiny toads, but he is still insisting that his toads are huge. As you can tell with the level 7 talent over here. I mean, we'll take his word for it at this point. They are trying to trap, on the other hand, Ragnaros. It wasn't quite working out, but if he got caught by the zombie wall, that would have been very likely the end of him once again. So, yeah, continues on level 7 with the Hand of Ragnaros. Objective has also been started up. It is the blue team that is going for it. So yes, with the help of Pajnox and here Misha, they're coming in and trying to take control. A little bit similar to what you can pull off with Nubarak, of course. Once that Misha distracts the grunts, Rexa can simply start the channel and cheese a couple of points in, and that's exactly what he does. They're going for Ragnaros again, and he is in trouble. If he doesn't get an assist here, he's in real trouble. The stun connects, and that's the end of him. He's down. Ragnaros got wrecked, so that's 70 stacks now for Nazeebo. The objective continues as the Panda has moved in. They're fighting in the middle, but time is being lost here, and with only 13 seconds left, you can really see that the blue team is getting closer and closer to an objective. So, yeah, they are impressing me, honestly. They're really impressing me. I did not think that they would do so well in this series, but they are thriving, absolutely thriving in this Meta Madness format. It's really fun to watch. Now, the shots keep coming, and Tyrande is at 10,000 damage. She's top damage for the team. That doesn't come as a surprise. Considering the way that she's been playing this so far, this doesn't shock me in the slightest. Nazeebo dies, but so does Lucio. They are going for Tyrande. This time she was not able to kill them. She's still locked in a stun though, and that allowed the Panda to come in with a top kick play, deliver another blow to Ragnaros, and it is the end of him. 7 kills to 2, both of the teams with level 10 abilities, and Pajnox is going for the camp again. The red team so far not ready with it. The Lava Wave has indeed been chosen. We have, on the other hand, the Bestial Wrath. Don't get to see that a whole lot, but there it is. And, well, this is objective number 1 for the blue team. Yep, they get it. The Panda can move out. Easy jump. Time Bullet is honestly crushing it with Chen. He's doing a very good job here. Ragnaros is trying to deter them a bit at the bottom. And, yeah, I mean, he's getting an additional minion wave, I would assume here. Should be able to get that one in. Let's see if the timing was on point, and yes, indeed it was. So gets the additional wave that helps them a bit, but we are seeing a boss taken at the same time. That kind of makes up for you losing some minions, so I think that's fine. Mid lane, top lane, bot lane, they are pushing everywhere they can. It's level 11 versus 11, but yeah, they are doing great work here in the early stages. Now, obviously, first objective is not really that strong just yet. But, yeah. Nazebo, get kecked, son. The panda. Yeah, nice. Nazebo. Here's Nazebo's back. So now they're going for Zagara too. And Bokken, is he going to get another stun? Of course he is. Why am I even asking? Why did I doubt him? I shouldn't have doubted him. I'm sorry. I officially apologize. I should not have doubted the Bokken. Now Ragnaros is assisting in the middle of the map. Markotzel is asking for trouble. He should have learned his lesson already earlier, but apparently he didn't, so he gets attacked again. Seems like they're going for Tyrande. And I take back everything that I said in the draft. Like, she is a killer. It's Zul that dies, because at some point they had to go for the weak link. The fort has been destroyed, and guess what? There's a second one that also gets dropped. So this is 2 forts that they just lost. They lost 2 forts, and Nazebo's, by the way, at 107 stacks. 107 stacks, 8 minutes in. My man is doing work. And I highlight again how strong he is going to be in structures as this game continues. If you go Toad build, you can crush structures. Absolutely crush them. Yeah, Ragnaros is double checking the top side a little bit. 20,000 damage for Zagara, 19,000 for Ragnaros. And they are starting to play around the middle a little bit, since with the camp they're of course still hoping to take this one down too. But Ragnaros has already seen this, so he knows that the boss is about to be taken. The red team has to react somehow. They got the vision, they got the information, but what are they doing with it? They're not checking this, by the way. They haven't seen this. Alright, so Lava Wave has been used at the bottom of the map to create some space for them. And they nearly wrecked the birdie. So Fallset has nearly been destroyed. The problem is that in the middle of the map we still have Zul and Nazebo. They're not caring about the top lane at all. They just take another fort down. Guys, structures are getting destroyed all over the place. Yes, they will steal the boss very likely, but they are paying a price. And it's a pretty hefty one. Because not only did the fort in the mid lane get destroyed, but look at this. Zul is just using his scythe and he's slicing and dicing and taking more structures down. The entire keep wall has now been destroyed. Nazebo is at the bottom of the map, just getting stacks together, and topside they're now defending best they can against this boss. The red team apparently had enough finally, and it's just saying, alright guys, let's attack. But Tyrande survives again! She just survives again, she doesn't care. Tyrande doesn't care, and they still haven't lost even a fort yet. Warnick has to head back apparently. They're not even taking a fort down with the help of the boss. They lost their fort in the middle. They themselves cannot claim it. The objective is getting attacked again. It honestly feels like the fan club has 2 more heroes on the map. That's kind of what happens here. This is honestly how this feels. They're getting a few kills in. Seems like our boy is not going to make it either. But still, this is a bit bananas if you ask me. I mean, whatever they do, they are getting murdered somewhere else on the map. Now they finally have a 5 versus 3 situation going that might allow them to go for the objective here. But this is a bit crazy. So off we go. They're getting pushed away. Chen is just kegging them again. And they are really looking for this objective. Tyrande, okay, this is going to be a bit too much even for her. Bokken has been styling on his opponents throughout the entire game, but this is a bit too much even for him. So it seems that this objective might be taken by them. Now, that lava wave is also going to get value. 1 wave down, 2 waves down, and this one is also going to get dropped. So they're getting a bit of a lead on the macro angle at least. Zagara with the corrosive saliva, with the max HP damage, the protective coating has been in. They are still fighting over the objective though. Nazebo isn't here, and Zul is at the bot lane, so they were trying to stall this out a bit further. Not really something they can do unless everybody is collapsing onto the camp, and no, they're not. So yeah, Zul is just pushing this here. It's still level 17 versus level 17. I'm actually shocked that Zul is going this far out. I don't understand why. He knew where they were. He knew they had an easy shot at flanking him, and he still decided to go this far out onto the lane. So I mean, they are losing a lot of HP trying to go for him. If he had a chance to maybe stay there a bit longer, maybe they would have even been able to get a counter kill. But I'm still a little bit surprised that he gave them such an easy opportunity to go for a kill. Nazebo, on the other hand, he's at 160 stacks, always assuming that he's going for the Vile Infection here. He is going to get some enormous damage out in the later stages of the game. So top side, they're still playing this out as best they can. Bottom fort has now fallen, but in the middle, Rexa is dealing with the objective fairly easily. Up at the top though, Nazebo, I mean, he takes it down, but this thing was obviously already damaged. There's still some pressure down here. They are running a Zagara after all. So there's Zagara and there's also Ragnaros. And they have been targeting the bot lane a lot with lava waves earlier, so they can start to take that keep down. And now the ult is chosen, Zagara is in real trouble, but the Gust is also in. The Panda with another quick play, and there it is, the kill. Zagara is gone. The Raider is about to be eliminated, and now they are on the chase. Fat Illidan is making his move. The lava wave is coming in, but Fat Illidan has leeched onto Ragnaros right now, and it is not a kill, because he gets his ult through, the trade through. So they're burning it down quickly, and he will eventually die, but that was a pretty neat little move, and could have caused problems. Rexa is not doing anything here, on the other hand. He's just going for the camp again, as he should. And now that they're already so close to the boss at the bottom of the map, they have immediately started to attack it. Whereas Nazebo is getting a few more stacks together for his baseline. Yeah. Good stuff. Very, very good stuff. We have level 20 any second now for them. And that's obviously going to be pretty big. 17,500 damage for Nazebo. And now he gets his Vile Infection. 17,500. Keep that in mind a little bit. Now he has the Vile Infection, and now we're going to have a look at how his damage is going to progress as this continues. Level 20 talents, obviously, just all around a huge advantage for them now. But I said earlier that the build with the Toads is going to play a role if he gets the quest completed, and that is going to be showcased right here, because structures are going to get murdered by him. Spirit Bond is in for Rexa. Nazebo is doing exactly what I talked about earlier. He's focusing on the objective. He's gonna get some serious hero damage out with it as well, but his goal is still to take these structures down. He gets Maud at this point and is able to retreat again. But yep, those Toads are in, and that damage is just spiraling out of control for him. He already got 2,000, 3,000 damage just in that encounter and hero damage. But again, the goal is for him to go in structures. And this is where he's currently totally destroying them. 2 keeps are gone. Just like this. Lava wave comes through. 2 keeps are gone on the other hand. And that currently means that 2 of the armor shields are removed on the core. The Heroes Lounge fan club is doing some glorious work here. With a level 20, a second wave has been launched in the middle. Level 20 talents on both sides, and Nazebo with the cheeky hearth as he's escaping. The red team much so focusing now on the boss at the top side though. 122 stacks for Falstad, by the way. 122. Whereas when you're looking over to Tyrande, she's currently at 26 stacks. Now, we also have 200 stacks for the baseline on Nazebo, so keep that in mind a little bit as well. 200 stacks, not too shabby, honestly. So yeah, not too bad. What can they do over here? Gust was pretty solid, so that forced them back. Boss is now marching through the top lane. Doesn't really seem that the blue team is too interested in it. And Nazebo is still getting the Toads out. Look at that damage! Look at that damage! Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Nazebo just gained 10,000 damage, by the way. 10k in that little encounter. It is disgusting how much damage that hero does after the Vile Infection. If you have prolonged fights with him at that point in time, it is going to just crush the opposition. Now, still needs to eye-blow this one. Nicely done. But yep, they're pushing through even further. Boss at the top has to be dealt with before it destroys the keep. And they pull it off. Now the Panda gets still caught, but still. The keep loses some damage. It's actually kind of crazy. 63,000 damage for Falstad. So we talk a lot about Nazebo and the stacks and also the blue team in general. But let's not forget that Falstad has accumulated a huge amount of stacks also on his level 1. So he's now sitting at 63,000. Ragnaros is at 63k himself. The keeps losing them is a big problem. This is really where Ragnaros is your saving grace right now. Without that, these lanes would continuously push even more aggressively against the red team. But they are still saving the day for them. 133 stacks now for Nazebo. Zagara! Jesus! Total panic mode on her. But the Panda is also getting isolated, and they're actually going for him. He's able to make his way out of this one, but not for long. So, yep, he gets hit eventually. Now, Lucio is also getting attacked here, and Nazebo is just continuing to do his thing. Now he is at 40,000 damage. They're still pushing them back here. But the bot lane gets attacked, and the top lane is also facing a huge minion wave. These lava waves are really doing work. So, despite the fact that they've been dropping 2 keeps, they are now suffering damage on their side lanes, and especially at the bottom of the map, that's a problem. Because this lane has to be saved. So does the top lane. Zul is here. Daddy's home, and he is taking the entire lane. So, all of this easily taken. The Panda not back to business yet. They are interrupting with the Owl in particular and buying themselves a little bit more time on this one, so that's super important. But eventually this is going to be taken. Yep, the Toads are trying to do their thing. There's roaches everywhere. Toads, roaches, hydras. Oh, the gas. Nice ice block by Nazebo. Great ice block. The rest of the team is getting murdered though. Yep, that's a double kill. They're going for the triple, and this time Nazebo is toast. And this is the end of Tyrande as well. Oh boy, just as the Panda is back, the entire team gets killed. And this might be where they lose the game. They took 2 keeps down. But they are on the back foot now. They're losing. 14 kills, 212, level 22. Normally when we're seeing these Falstad moves, they backfire heavily, but in this case it might just have won them the game. They forced the engage just before Chen was there. The birdie flies in, goes for the gust, and now they have a shot to end this game. The objective is going to touch ground. We only have a single hero surviving. He can still keck it up a little bit to save this keep for longer. Sorry, this core. Obviously, it's also going to regenerate some hit points, but yep, the Panda sacrificing its life here, more or less. We are having Zul back to business. There's 2 armor shields still. This is a lot. 2 armor shields is a lot, but the gust has been used again. They should have enough time to take the core down, especially with Ragnaros now also going for his trade again. But they're killing 1, they're killing 2. The core is still alive. 6,000 hit points remaining. They're killing Zagara. They're killing Lucio. 5,000 hit points. They need to take this objective down, and they do. Ragnaros is there. 1,700. No! What the hell? The team is dead. The core is still there. They gotta cross the map and end it. Guys, they actually took it. It's recovering the hit points, and now they can march cross map. I don't even understand why they're even wasting time here. It's literally just get Nazebo onto the lane. What are you doing? The core is here. It's right over there. Stop wasting time and move your butt, dude. Oh, they just wasted maybe too much time, and they're realizing it as well. Oh my god, no. They just messed up. Yeah, they could have ended. They could have ended right there. Now they sacrifice another keep. The goal is obviously to go for the boss now, as you can see. They already signaled this, but they just won the game. They just won the game, and then they decided that they don't want to win it this easily. Oh my god. Top lane gets checked. Falstad is there. They want to go for the boss. If it comes to a race, the blue team is going to win it. You cannot outmatch Nazebo here. This is not happening. They gotta go back. The red team has to go back. They cannot go for this. Falstad is gonna try and gust. They are gonna lose this. Everybody is hearthing. Everybody is hearthing back now. It comes down to the gust angle. And Nazebo, can they control Nazebo? That's the big question. The core, 1 armor shield, that's the big difference. Triple! They go for the triple, but the problem is, can they get the kill? No, they cannot! The core is at 15,000, the gust is coming out, they're using everything they have. But nobody has died yet outside of Misha. They play and they're gonna go for victory here. This is looking good for the blue team. Maybe the 2-0, and yes it is. 18 to 15 kills as the fan club locks in a 2-0 lead. Game number 3, match point number 1. Cursed Hollow is the map. Another big map. And the finish of game number 2 was pretty cool. Obviously, they could have skipped the step where they go to the boss and just cross the map and go straight for the core. So I think at that point, there was probably adrenaline pumping and nobody was really aware what was going on. Everybody was like, can we not? And then, yeah, you are starting to become a little bit anxious that you might be getting wiped there the same way the Sweaty Boys got wiped on the blue team's core. So it was a pretty spicy one. But a very, very nice series, and I'm incredibly impressed how well the Heroes Lounge fan club adapts to the concept of Meta Madness here. A lot of the drafts that they're playing and the decisions that they're making are catering all around that. They're banning Sylvanas here again, and that makes perfect sense to me because they really love to play these push comps and compositions that allow them to attack on multiple lanes. Sylvanas is of course perfect to do that, but since it is the red team that has continuously first pick right now, it makes no sense to leave them the option to use Sylvanas. So we have a ban on Kharazim, and that immediately rings alarm bells for me. This is looking like a Cho'Gall pick for me. Bit different of what they did before. But if you ban out Kharazim, Cho'Gall becomes an option, and since they're going Phoenix and Murky, I think we can also kiss that one goodbye. Would have surprised me a little bit in the sense that it wasn't really something that they've done. I mean, they've done it in the previous series, but everything they showed so far in this one was more focused on the macro. So they go for the brr build, Murky with Octograb, and then Phoenix. And on the other side, we have Tracer Abathur. Okay, yeah, Tracer is gonna go for the frog in a bubble. Garrosh gets now also banned out. I wonder if they are still thinking about going for Cho'Gall. I don't really think so, but that Kharazim ban is a little bit suspicious here. I mean, maybe they just don't really like him. Maybe they just don't want to have his leech potential against some of the picks they have. But if you're getting rid of Kharazim, that's usually for a reason. Now the point, on the other hand, is that if you are looking at Cho'Gall and you're afraid of the 7-sided strike, you also have to be afraid of so many other heroes that are currently still available. But the Sweaty Boys are not taking any chances. They saw that Cho'Gall was played in a previous series by the blue team, so they're just banning him out. They're just saying, alright, whatever, like, just to be safe, we're gonna get rid of him. Still, great start with Phoenix and Murky. I mean, I'm all here for it. Abathur needs to be very careful too. If at any point they are revealing his position, then Phoenix can just laser him into the ground. And can just absolutely kill him. But here comes Whitemane, and we get Zeratul. This is the first match point for them. So this is gonna get really interesting very quickly. Tracer Abathur, then again, is really annoying. So I'm not so sure if they maybe this time overreached a little bit with what they're doing here. Final 2 picks. You need a tank. Uther Mal'Ganis. Alright. Uther and Mal'Ganis here as the last 2 picks. Obviously, since we're heading into game number 3, this means that 30 heroes are currently unavailable. And for Grain Beret, the final pick of what we're getting here. I mean, they got a lot of really aggressive stuff that they can rock, especially ones that they have level 10 available. The combo with Murky's Octograb and Phoenix's ult is obviously glorious, if you can get the whole thing out. And they're going for a Sonya pick here towards the end. Alright, so Cursed Hollow, first match point for them. And they go Sonya, Zeratul, Phoenix, Murky, and Whitemane. Interesting choice, guys. We're heading into the 3rd map. It's the final best of 5 series in Group B of Meta Madness. So let's not waste any more time. Cursed Hollow. Valla on Murky for the blue team. Grain Beret is playing Sonya. Pudgenox on Phoenix. Bokken on Whitemane. And Time Bullet is playing Zeratul. Towards the right side of the map, we got the Sweaty Boys +1 with the Tomason Mal'Ganis. We get Makotzel on the Haka. Tracer, I really think a lot hinges now on her shoulders, so Warnick is playing the hero, and Vertigo and Abathur has to really assist him here with kills in the backline. Rushing main, she's playing Uther in game number 3, and this could be a match point. So, Murky will be interesting. Also, Sonya acting, as it seems, a little bit as the main tank for the team right now. We got on level 1 already a fishy deal. And Bokken gets... right from the get-go, everybody's going for Bokken again. After his Tyrande performance in game number 2, they're just like, alright guys, let's go. Level 1 talent, the move unseen for Zeratul, so also deviating away a little bit. Murky has already started to take control of the top lane. Again, they are likely going to go for Octograb plus Planet Cracker once that level 10 is in, and that gives you some really nice opportunities to get quick kills. But it's also noteworthy that whenever they find Abathur, they can very quickly take him down just with the Cracker. And talking about Abathur, it seems like the Slugger is already dropping out of the game here. The red team has to pause because Abathur is gone. Maybe some connection issues here on their side. Tracer is zipping back down. And this combo between these two heroes, this is going to be absolutely crucial for their success. So they have to try and get the kills against Whitemane, and they also need to really control Murky. Valla has been playing some really solid specialists, so he could also start to just simply proxy some of these minion waves. That's something that we've seen from a lot of Murkies in the past, that they're just trying to get that done. Bokken just face-checking the bush here. So, yeah. And, alright. A little bit of damage easily being done here. Tracer, careful baby. Yeah, Uther is there to assist, but they have also Abathur, but apparently he was busy elsewhere. The early game, I'm not really too worried too much about it, but it will be very interesting once that the tributes are starting to pop up. I mean, mainly level 10, obviously. Abathur, they would... he's actually proxying the wave, so yeah, exactly the way that he should. The one thing that I want to point out is that with Abathur getting his ultimate evolution on level 10, they of course have one hit point pool missing in these fights up to the point where you can use it. So the early moves are sometimes a bit tricky, and with early moves I mean mainly plays around the tributes. You don't want to end up as the Abathur team losing the 2 tributes first, because it means that you are forced to fight around the 3rd. And if you are not in possession of level 10 by the time, but your opponent is, then you're giving up a curse for free. So that's always the danger, depending on how the game plays out there. Most of the time it doesn't really come to it, but I've seen it so many times that it is a concern, or it should be. Tougher Fish is in, so no stacking on level 4 now for Murky. We're getting the armor instead. Tracer can of course burn this down very quickly, so this is in decent choice there. Whereas Sonya is currently at the bottom of the map. Siege Giants have already been taken there. Oh, and Dehaka! Yeah, he committed to this. That's actually an interesting choice too. So they were really thinking they could get the kill on Sonya. Now that they didn't, it means that the Siege Giants are marching against the wall. Murky's gonna proxy another minion wave, and this is gonna do some serious damage. So this is a bit of an annoying situation for them. Dehaka committing to that little push could now really be a problem and cost them quite a lot topside. They also are not reacting to the tribute spawn. So apparently, because they have Abathur here and only 4 hit point bars in, they are deciding to not make a play for the tribute at all, not even trying to interrupt it whatsoever. So there's some real shenanigans going on here. Tribute is taken for free. This is exactly what you don't want as the Abathur team. As the Abathur team, yes, you don't really want to overcommit to the tribute because you're missing that extra body in the team fight, but you also want to delay them as much as you can. You want to buy some time because you don't want to have this early 3rd tribute and face around level 10. So they are in real trouble here already. Now, killing Zeratul would help, but Tracer just got lost. Mal'Ganis gets killed. That's 2 heroes down. That's a level 7 advantage. And now they have lost the wall at the top, and they're also taking damage at the fort. Guys, it's hard for me to describe how tricky this is. Level 7 is there, so that gives them the mule, but I don't think they're going to get a chance to mule up that fort. Zeratul will go in, or anybody is going to try and take that mule down if they get an opportunity there. Now, some of them are hearthing back. Sonya is at the bot lane, but the second tribute has now spawned. And if you lose this one, then pretty much you're going to have a fight before you have level 10 for tribute 3, so you could run into a curse there. Now, they get value out of the mule. That's good. They had some heroes topside that were able to push them back a little bit. But this is really dangerous. This time they're getting heroes down here, but it's a dangerous situation for them, to say the least. Tracer's following it up on Murky and gets the kill, so they are starting to zone them away from the tribute. If they lock this one in, then that would help them a lot more, but time will tell if they can pull that one off. The Hogger's now also moving in. Tracer in trouble! And with trouble, I mean she's dead. 3 kills to 0. 3 kills to 0. Even Mal'Ganis is now on the run and gets attacked again. But all they need is that tribute, and they get it. And that is spelling disaster for the Abathur team. This means they will have to fight over the next tribute in a situation where they don't have level 10 and the blue team does. That's the likely outcome here. If they can soak all through lane super quickly and get a bunch of experience now, maybe they can prevent that from happening. But one way or another, this is a very, very annoying spot to be in. And they will likely pay the consequences here. So, yeah, this is going to get very dangerous. Might just work out. They might just get the experience in time. But level 10 is now kicking in for the fan club, and that should allow them to do some work here. And look at the position of the tribute as well. It's over there on the left side. This is just the dream. In the meantime, Murky is just stealing another camp from them, so that's also annoying. That means that their mid lane is going to get attacked even further. This is likely going to be a curse. This is really problematic. Half a level, 9 seconds to go. You could try and interrupt until they have heroics. And gone. Yep, that's how you get a Tracer kill, everybody. You go for the Octa Crab, and then you go full and you win. 4 kills to 0. That's a curse. Wow. The momentum is swinging hard for the fan club. The blue team is doing well, and Abathur is dead. Abathur is down, and with the slug gone, they will take the bottom fort. Murky is already busy here in the middle. The camp had to be dealt with too. Up towards the top, there's no chance that the minion wave doesn't take the fort down, so they are falling apart all over the map. At this point, it might be a kill on Sonya at least. Yep, Abathur gets it, runs straight into the mine. Dumm gelaufen, as we say in Germany. And at the bottom of the map, the fort is gonna get murdered. At the top, though, I mean, they got Monty! Monty is in the house! Yeah, that's not working. I mean, I love the monstrosity, don't get me wrong. I absolutely adore it. Monty the monstrosity, back in the days, it was the go-to build for Abathur. These days, not so much anymore. I absolutely love that we have it, but it's still, I don't really think this is going to work out for them. Too much that Abathur has to do in order to get real value out of it, and here it already gets destroyed, as did the fort. Now, a few kills have still happened in favor of the Sweaty Boys +1, so they have 3 kills on the board now. But the camps are getting taken here. And, of course, the red team, they might be on level 12. Same experience tier as Heroes Lounge FC. But they are in a bad spot. Boss is about to be taken up at the top. Same is going to happen down to the bottom of the map. Big difference being that this one is going to march straight for the keep. Abathur still happy in the middle here, trying to escort the next wave through. Mule is up, but they are going to try and destroy some structures down at the bot lane. Mule is actually a really annoying tool for them right now. Yeah, we saw that. He fat-fingered his ult. He went for the leap. Yeah, that was definitely not intended. So, that he doesn't get pinged is actually a miracle. If that was Team WoP playing, they would ping the shit out of Sonya now. But yeah, Sonya kind of screwed that one up a little bit. So nobody is seeing it. But yep, here we go. I think they went for another Planet Cracker attempt, but I don't think they got a kill this time. So yeah, did not catch that one. I'm sorry. But here we go. Another fight is breaking out. Sonya wishes she had leap, but she doesn't. And they're still trying to go for the kill here. Divine Shield is out. Phoenix with good damage too. The first one to fall is Murky. That's not a problem. Boss at the bottom of the map is starting to do damage to the keep itself. Sonya, no leap, no GG. White Mane keeps her alive for quite a long time, but eventually Tracer gets the double kill, and Phoenix is dead as well. So it's actually starting to become quite interesting here, because right now the red team is making a bit of a comeback, whereas the blue team is destroying some towers here in the middle. They also are going to get that keep. There's no defense here. I don't think he can save that. No, that keep is gone. I really thought that they were focusing a bit more on saving it than using Abathur to mule it up. So Tracer and Zeratul both die at the fight at the bottom left, but the keep is now gone. Murky is still up at the top and trying to go for another tribute here. So this is getting a little bit bananas. Jesus, they haven't taken a fort down yet, and they lost every single fort and they lost their keep. So now what can they actually do? Fort at the top and bot lane is incredibly low, so they should be able to take this on very soon. I mean, Monty, the monstrosity, might be able to pull that one off. They also have a global that helps them to cover the side lanes a bit more. But this is still a bit dicey. Planet Cracker is up. They could go in Cracker, but White Mane too far out, gets caught and gets killed. Yeah, now they're just feeding them heroes. Now Leap is of course up too, Tribute is already taken, and talking about feeding them heroes, there's another one. They are saving Sonya, but at what cost? At the cost of another ult. So, Vision is claimed, topside, Siege Giants are still dealing with Monty as best as they can. And Monty is retreating down to the bot lane now, trying to get value on the bottom fort. I like that they are really trying to take these side lanes out. So that helps. Octograb is still there. The combo is still there, but as long as Uther is ready to drop the Divine Shield, you're not going to use that. Murky just commits Sudoku in the brush and dies immediately. Team's on level 16 now. Sonya has safeguarded the bot lane and is getting the experience for them as well. But the top fort has fallen. And Zeratul is still hoping to get a lock on Mal'Ganis, I suppose. But they gotta decide a bit how they want to play the game now. Next objective, next tribute is soon up. And they're losing White Mane again. This can't happen. They can't just lose White Mane over and over again. She just came back. They lost her immediately. Here comes the leap. No Octograb, no Cracker plays. Nope. Instead, they're losing Sonya. The red team is on an absolute tear right now and is crushing them. 11 kills to 6. They lost a keep, of course. So the bottom keep gone. That's still a problem. But as I highlighted earlier, with the Haka, you have a tool against the pressure that you're going to experience there. This is the second tribute claimed by the Sweaty Boys. And the blue team, they gotta take a deep breath and get their shit together here. They're trying for a kill on the Haka, and they get it. So full on, and they drop him. But, well, that's it. So, right now, we have 11 kills to 7. Make it 12 kills. Just as they're getting a kill, they're also losing Zeratul. And now Tracer and Abathur, they're just crushing it. They are both just going for it. So, at this point, I mean, Merc is doing his best to just push these lanes out, and they still have some chance to get those Siege Giants in, I suppose. It's actually kind of funny how much Murky can do here, but of course eventually the frog is going to get dropped with everybody now helping out to destroy the Siege Giants. That's not even going to be a question. But there's 3 heroes that are still not on the map. The tribute gets announced just as Sonya is over on the left side trying to take the camp. I think this is a little bit risky now because this is going to be sniffed out. This is, I mean, this was telegraphed. Obviously they're going to go here. Obviously this is going to happen. Monstrosity is pushing out the bot lane. Leap? Really? What? Why? Dude, Phoenix is just now coming back. Stop feeding them heroes. Again forced into a fight, and again White Mane dies. They're staggering deaths. Honestly, they're throwing hard right now. This is a game of throws. They are cursed. That leap resulted in the death of White Mane. Now Sonya herself is dead too. Yeah, I mean, they're throwing this with both hands. This is an absolute disaster. 16 kills to 7. They did such a great job at the beginning of the game, but at this point, this is just griefing. Full-on grief over here. Now, Zeratul might get some kills if he gets close enough and is not gonna get CC'd. But holy hell, what has happened to them? they completely fell apart here. Planet Cracker, they're just YOLOing abilities out. Now he gets licked and killed. And that is likely going to be the end of the game. I mean, maybe they can save the core for now, but damn, son. The bottom fort has fallen to the monstrosity. The fort on the right side is getting killed by minion waves. Now they're going with the Octo Grab for another target, and they're actually getting the Hogger, so that's a good step to save your core. But it's... yeah, well, Sonya coming in with another lead that saves the day for another few seconds. If they can get the kill on Tracer, then maybe, and they do. So Tracer is gone. Can they get more than that? Zeratul certainly is trying. They baited them in. That's the strategy now. Bait them in, make them think they can win the game, and then turn it around on them again. Or maybe that works out. Level 20 is now available on both sides. That might actually really help them. Level 20 is going to be interesting. They're getting him, obviously, so Mal'Ganis is dead. The problem is that down at the bottom of the map, Monty has done some serious damage. Leap into area crater. Yeah, what? I mean, you can leap a little bit more, but not quite the talent that I expected them to take here. But okay, they got the cooldown reduction. Maybe they really want to play around that as best as they can. They go for the boss at the top now. I personally would have gone for the boss at the bottom of the map and try to go for the core. They seem to think that they can't end the game, so Abatha's Mule is too much of a problem. Yeah, Zeratul outplayed himself a little bit in that encounter. Went for the Twilight Falls. Yeah, now we got the Purge the Wicked. Alright. Making Inky as well. It's getting interesting. They're trying to go for the camp. Mal'Ganis is still missing. Merc is at the bottom of the map. Zeratul isn't here either. A little bit too greedy. The leaps, though. The crater. And the kill. Okay, I gotta admit that was pretty sweet. So they get the kill through that, and now they have a big push going on at the top. Let's take another quick look at this before that plays out. So they were all sitting on the camp, trying to make their move there. Big crater. They are able to go for Tracer as she jumps out, and that is the end of her. So now it's a 4 versus 5. Bot lane in real trouble. At the bottom of the map, they're going for the core. Murky's going for the core with the siege giants. They might actually win this after all. They fell so heavily behind in kills. It's actually insane. And now the top lane keep is about to get destroyed. The bot lane is in trouble too. That boss is definitely going to annihilate the structure here. Another leap, but it doesn't hit anything. They're still continuing to push. And down here, siege giants. The catapults are griefing, at least one of them, but the core is losing hit points. The boss is still... I can't believe that they actually made it happen. A 3-0 victory. Kudos to the fan club. They take down the Sweaty Boys +1 with a 3-0 victory.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.